Well, it's time for my evening cigar, and tonight I am smoking a Crowned Heads Yellow Rose. It's one of those limited edition type cigars. It's a lot easier to find now than it used to be, but it was primarily sold in Texas stores. It's a really good cigar. I enjoy it. It's been a long day on a very hot day also. It gets a little warm out here in the summertime, and it's not quite even summer yet. But I had a big day. Woke up this morning, and first thing I did is I went to the National Museum of the Pacific War. It used to be called the Nimitz Museum, and it's a really good museum. They've got a couple of buildings. The main museum portion of it is now behind where the old museum used to be. The old museum was in the Nimitz Hotel / family home. But behind it they built a big facility now. And it's a very good museum. Primarily about the Pacific War, but it also touches on European theater a little bit. I enjoyed it. It was one of the things they did really well is they took out real life people from World War II, had a photo of them, and when you stand in front of it, it kicks in and does a video of them talking about something they went through. And there were civilians, military, all kinds of people on these videos, so it was pretty interesting. You hear it and hear them talking about their experiences. And it wasn't them, it was, I think, an actor or AI generated or something, but at the end, the actual person, there's a photo of him, tells you what happened to him after the war. And they had a lot of good artifacts and stuff. Artifacts from Pearl Harbor and the Arizona, and captured Japanese artifacts, and just all kinds of stuff. It's a good museum. And then after that, there's a peace garden outside, and another garden setting where there's tributes to a lot of military folks and stuff. And then where the original museum used to be is now the Nimitz Gallery, which pretty much showcases his life. And it's only on the bottom floor now. But it tells you all about Nimitz, his family, and where he came from, and how he progressed through the Navy, and what he did after he retired from the Navy and everything. Then there's another section down the road. Can't think of what they call it offhand. Pacific War Theater or something like that, or Combat Zone or something. And there they have their aviation hangar and their PT boat hangar. And there's a plane in the aviation hangar, along with some information. And there's an old PT boat in the other hangar. That PT boat actually didn't even serve in the Pacific War. It was in the Mediterranean. Sunk, I think he said, 5 Nazi ships. But they got it after got it several years ago, and they've got it on display there. And then there's a amphitheater where they put on recreations throughout the year. And you can go out there and look at the amphitheater and everything, but certain times of the year they do reenactments and stuff. And I've heard they're really, really good. If you ever get a chance, you ought to hit up the museum. You could spend about 4 hours there. Depends on how much you want to really read and get into all the stories and everything. But yeah, you could spend about between 3 to 5 hours. It's a good experience. And then after that, I decided to take off and go visit Enchanted Rock, which is a state park and nature area. Enchanted Rock is a huge granite dome, and people hike up there, and there's 2 or 3 other peaks, and when you get up there, you can see for miles and miles throughout the hill country. And I gotta tell you, the hill country is my favorite part of Texas. It is the most beautiful part of Texas, bar none. I don't care what anybody says. But it's Enchanted Rock Park is gorgeous, and she was telling me they've expanded. Now there's something like 5,000 acres to it, or just shy of 5,000 acres, and it's a dual-purpose state park and nature area where they do conservation and everything. And unlike a lot of state parks, there's not campgrounds and stuff. They have 2 primitive campgrounds for tents only. They have RV parking, but not overnight stays. So it's more of a nature area that you can visit during the day, and you can climb up to the top of the rock, which I did not do. No way was I going to even attempt to try and do it. Even though they make it easy with stairs and steps and everything else, no, I'm not doing it. And then they have, I think there's 5 trails you can go on, or 5 hikes, from what they consider easy and moderate to difficult, which I'm pretty sure if I would have tried the moderate one, they would have probably had to call some kind of emergency people to come and rescue me, because there was just no way I was going to try it. But I had to go out there and just visit it, take a look at it and everything. They were real nice. Let's see, what else did I do today? I visited another state park called the Old Tunnel State Park. It's an old tunnel inside of the mountain. We were real smart when we named these parks. We had an old tunnel and we called it Old Tunnel State Park. And there's nobody there. I mean, it's just off the side of the road. You just pull in there and park. There is somebody there, I think, at night, because the main part of this park is at nighttime, the bats come out of the tunnel. And people gather. There's seating areas. There's 2 levels. There's an upper and lower deck seating level, and you have to make reservations, I think, to get down the lower deck. And you can't go in the tunnel. They've got it gated off. But it was an old railroad tunnel. But if you've never seen thousands and thousands of bats emerge from a tunnel at nighttime, it's a sight to see. And when you get out to Texas Hill Country and you get away from the big cities, and if you get out of Fredericksburg 5 miles, you're out away from everything. At nighttime, it's gorgeous. You can see everything. I mean, a lot of people go out to Enchanted Rock State Park for the stargazing. Same thing out there at the Old Tunnel State Park. I mean, the night skies are gorgeous out here because there's no light pollution from the city. And you can see all kinds of stuff. And people come from all over out here to go stargazing and stuff like that. So I went to those 2 state parks. I went to the museum. Stopped by the airport diner to have lunch. Cool place. If you go out to the airport, there's an airport hotel, which is kind of a 1940s vibe hotel. Back when travel was elegant. I mean, the whole thing is set up like that. And I didn't go in the hotel, but I saw photos of it and everything. It's really gorgeous. And right next to the hotel, they have the airport diner. Reasonable prices. The food was really good. I had a sandwich, but the sandwich was really good. But I saw them bringing out food. I mean, big, huge, like chicken fried steak plates and all kinds of stuff. And I mean, the prices were really good. Which everything around here is on the tourist price side. You're not going to find dirt cheap breakfast holes or a hole in the wall place to grab a taco or something. It just doesn't exist. But the prices out there were really good. There's an old plane out front. You eat right on the tarmac. Helicopter was flying in, planes were taking off. I mean, it was really cool. It's a themed kind of a place. If you ever get a chance, just stop by out there. It's out the airport, like 2 miles outside of the downtown area. Um, After that, I cruised around. I tried to buy some peaches, but it was nobody's selling peaches this year because they had a drought. The one place I did find that was selling peaches, one place wanted $7 a pound, and I'm not paying $7 a pound for peaches. But Hill Country peaches are delicious, but almost everybody's out of them. Hardly anybody has them because they had a drought this year. There's just a bad crop. Did take a drive out to Lukenbach, Texas. Did a little live video out there for a second, just to tell you I was there. Lukenbach, made famous by Waylon and Willie, their song Lukenbach, Texas, you know. It's just a little hole in the wall that got famous from a song, and now it's famous for people. In fact, when I left, there was a tour bus showing up with people who wanted to visit Lukenbach. And you go in there, there's a store where you can buy their merchandise. And then there's the old general store, which is full of stuff. And at the end of the old general store is the bar. $5 long necks, Lone Star, and other beers, and ice cold. And when you walk out the back of the bar, there's a small seating area with a small stage. It's not, don't think of 5,000 people showing up. There have been, I'm sure, but there's seating out there for probably 100 people with benches and picnic tables and stuff like that. And there was live music while I was there in the afternoon. There's always live music there. And then they do have concerts, and a lot of big names come through that place. It's one of the places that's out of the way where you can still hear good Texas country music from local artists. And the guys playing were pretty good. And then drove around, did a few other things, and got some photos of some stuff. But it was a good day. And now I'm enjoying my cigar and trying to relax in the shade a little bit because, man, it's been hot. And I think I'm leaving tomorrow morning, or midday, something like that. But that's it. That's my evening cigar, my little daily wrap up. We'll talk to you later. Glad you joined me. Take care.